Who's in and who's out for pitching for the Dodgers? Unfinished business to take care of. Postseason plan. MLB legend passes away, and all that and more. This is Dodger Digest. I'm Brad J. Who's in? Who's out? Let's get started. Let's waste no time. Get to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk pitching, because there's guys that we spent a lot of money on that we thought were going to be there, and we're going to be there in the postseason. The guys that aren't able to pitch in the postseason, that hurts. And some of the guys that we're looking at, let's start with our first guy here that we're not going to be seeing here in the NLDS. Possibility for a different series? Sure, but this first one, not in. Let's talk Tony Gonsolin. Dodger manager Dave Roberts, he said he will not be an option in the NLDS, but he will continue throwing. That just doesn't sound like a very strong point at that option, because first of all, you have to look at the Dodgers right now. You got a starting 4. You have one of the best bullpens in the mix, and you're going to go at it, and you're going to bring someone in who has not pitched in a while. It comes to a point during the season that you would think that the Dodgers can't just bring someone in, even if they have a great resume and they've pitched well in the past. You start bringing people in, and when it counts, and mistakes can be made. So that's one of those situations that he's not going to play in the NLDS. Will he be available for the next round? Not sure. All right, let's keep it going here. How about the man, Gavin Stone? Great pitcher, but we didn't see Gavin Stone. Reliable rookie. Man, he was going to be doing big things for the Dodgers this first year. Well, after being one consistent in the rotation in an ever-changing season, Stone got placed on the injured list. That shoulder inflammation solidified himself as one of the best arms of Dodger rotation. But a return for the rookie is a long shot. And here's a guy that I would think that possibility you bring that guy back. Not in the NLDS, but future series if you needed him. And he comes back and he's strong and he's got his command. And there's no reason I don't think that you leave him off that list, because he's a rookie and he's already proved himself all year long. It's the guys that are a little bit longer in the tooth that have been around a little bit longer. You start worrying about, can they be the ones to pull it off in a pinch situation? And one of the guys that I got to bring up, man, and it's not going to be a popular take from me, but some people might agree, some people might not agree. Let's talk Kershaw for a second here, right? Won't be an option for the last few weeks. Well, we didn't see that. Don't give up hope about the Dodgers icon. I do give up hope returning to the mound this year, because if they make a deep playoff run, they might use him. Are you kidding me? Do you think you would throw him out there? Do you really think that if he sits out as much as he's sat out so far, sits out the NLDS, unless we absolutely needed a starting pitcher, I don't see how you would put him back out there. And let's talk bone spur. Everyone keeps saying, oh, you give it a chance to heal. It's a bone spur. It's an extra bone that grows on the bone. It needs to be surgically removed. It needs to be cut off. It doesn't just get better. There's ways that you can get comfortable and throw with it, but will he be the same? And would you put him out in a leverage situation now? Would you do that with Kersh? In that situation? I mean, maybe it's not a popular call on my part, but I wouldn't, and I wouldn't trust him in the situation. He got shelled last time, and it was the bone spur. That's not going to heal. Just do a little math on it. I think in the offseason, they'll have to have that shaved down, removed, so he can come back. And I'll bet that's what happens. And then what makes you wonder, why didn't you do it when it first happened? Maybe you would have been ready to pitch, and it was healed up. I don't know the length. The heal-up time could be 4 to 6 weeks. Might have been too much time. But I don't see the bone spur healing and him just getting better and you throw him in a starting position unless you absolutely need him. That's the only way I'd say that. All right, so we talk about the Dodgers and some unfinished business. Juan Toribio from the MLB says Dodgers will have unfinished business against both teams. Let me remind everyone right now, every Dodger fan out there, let me remind you right now, keep this in your noggin. Atlanta eliminated the Dodgers. Yeah, our team. 2021, we were eliminated. I actually went to one of those Dodger home games that we got beat at Chavez Ravine. Still a poor taste in my mouth. Actually, one of the only playoff games I'd actually been to where the Dodgers had lost. So There you go. Eliminated the Dodgers 2021. So it gets better than that. The Padres beat the Dodgers. Oh, it doesn't get better. It gets worse. Dodgers beat us in 4 games in 2022. Right? Dodgers win the World Series 2020. Atlanta eliminated them in 21. Padres eliminated us in 22. That's not cool right there at all. So I don't care who we face. We have some unfinished business, whether it's the Padres or whether it's Atlanta. Myself, just a thought on that, I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to face Atlanta over the Padres. Because this whole hated in-season rivalry that we have for the Padres, I don't like it sometimes. Sometimes I love it, but sometimes I don't. And I think in the playoffs, I think that our chances, and if you look at baseball chances, I think our chances are better, a little better for us if you're playing against Atlanta. That's my thing, all right? That's what I'm thinking, all right? All right, let's talk. Yesterday, some news came out about starting pitching, and Roberts had an idea. This is the starting pitching he was looking at. I was kind of saying the same thing, a little different, just one player out of, or 2 players out of difference. But Dave Roberts revealed Los Angeles Dodgers starting rotation. NLDS going to feature Jack Flaherty. He'll start it out. Yamamoto will follow it up in the number 2 spot. Buehler will go 3. Knack will go 4. I was thinking Buehler is number 2 myself. I thought the way he pitched, he might have earned that spot. But hey, I'm not Doc. That's Doc's call. And then there's also been talk that the way Landon didn't start the game against the Rockies, and I think it was Banda who came in to start the game, and then Nat came in after. They're thinking about even toying with that idea as well. So what do you think about that right there? Do you like that? If you do, let me see. Chime in. What would you do for your starting 4, and what order would you put them in? Let's see it in the comments below. But there you go. Robert's thinking Flaherty, thinking Yamamoto, thinking Buehler, thinking Knack, but maybe a different way to see Knack, which is kind of crazy to see him in a different style, right? Have someone else come out for him to do that. All right, let's talk position players, and let's talk about the whole playoff situation. I mean, what does a postseason roster look like? Remember now, it goes from a 28-man roster in Sept, and now that it's October, it goes to a 26-player, 13 pitchers each round of the postseason. The rosters, remember this though, rosters are due the morning of game 1 of each round. So once you set that roster for the NLDS Saturday morning, those are the guys that are on that team that are going to do battle with you for that. Now you can change it, when as you move on, you can change it up, but there it is. So Dodgers are likely, they're talking about going with 13 position players, 13 pitchers. We have one heck of a bullpen. You got to just wonder who's going to be on. There's a couple guys that aren't super set. Same on position players too as well. So that's what it's looking like right there. So let's look at the bracket now and break down the bracket. Here it is. Finally, how about that double header that the Mets in Atlanta had to go at it yesterday? That was awesome. So that means we get the winner of the Padres and Atlanta for the NLDS, kicking off Saturday on Fox. So who's it going to be? It's going to be the Pods, Atlanta. I feel that it's probably going to be the Pods. Just thoughts on that? I kind of think that it'll start. I think I think Padres have the shot on that one. Then you got Milwaukee and the Mets going at it to see who faces the Phillies. And then eventually you see how that would match up if the Phillies come out and our Dodgers do come out, which they will. We'll be battling the Phillies in the NLCS. If everything goes the way I think it's going to go, that's what it's looking like right there. And sad news in baseball, Pete Rose passes away, 83 years old. Charlie Hustle, lifetime ban on the Hall of Fame. Now, do you think that he gets in now? Does he? I mean, this is a lifetime ban. So he was banned for life, right? Now the dude has passed away. Will the writers put him in now? My opinion, I think he should be in. I think the numbers he did, I know I wrote the book and said he bet on baseball. He bet on his team, but he also said that he bet on his team to win every single time. He never bet on the team he was managing to lose as a bet. So I don't know. if that's better or not. But Pete Rose story for you. Dodger Stadium. Back in the day when I used to be the DJ at Dodger Stadium, Pete Rose comes to a game. He's sitting behind home plate, and all the guys that I'm working with like 12 different people when I'm DJing there, and they're all in the office. And they see Pete Rose. They're, oh, Pete Rose there. And I had met Pete probably about a month earlier because he liked this band that I knew that was in Los Angeles. And I was doing radio at the time. So I knew the band and what have you. And I met Pete. I got to meet him face to face, had him on a radio show. That's why I've always been a Pete Rose fan. But besides that, I tell the guys in the studio, I go, hey, I know Pete. And they're like, man, Brad, you don't know Pete Rose. You don't know Pete at all. I'm all, you don't think I know Pete? Okay, you see him right down there, right by home plate? Because we're up in the club level looking down, and he's right behind the plate down low. And I said, oh, you don't think I know him? How about if I call him? Let's see if he answers his phone. And they're all, okay, like you have his number, all right? So grab the phone, right? Punched in, had it. I had Pete's number in there because I had done an interview with him on radio. And sure enough, Pete answers the phone, and everyone, like 10 or 12 people, are watching from the box that we were working in, looking down at Pete at Dodger Stadium, answering the phone. I'm like, Pete, how you doing? You enjoying the game? I think it was against the Reds, too. But good story right there. Always remember that one. Pete Rose, rest in peace. Charlie Hustle, dead at 83. Hey, hit the subscribe button. Dodger Digest is blowing up. We're hitting the 1,000 mark any day now. Thank you for all being part of it. Make sure you hit the sub button. Be part of it. Fresh content every day. Mike Nelson, Brad J. This is Dodger Digest, and that's going to do it. Remember always to think blue.